Hi there, it's Nat Edwards from the AFL. If you're heading to the footy this weekend, make sure you bring the AFL Live app with you. All the stats, all the stories, stay on top of all of the games while you're watching one game. The AFL Live app is the place to get the latest from this week's matches. Download the AFL Live app now and never miss a moment.
Every +6, every pig. This is AFL Fantasy Live with the Traders. Now, here are your hosts, Roy, Calvin and Warnie.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy, I coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wandogs.
And Calvin.
Coach of Calvinator, boys.
Boys, it has been a challenge, and it remains a massive challenge.
doesn't it ever?
However, it's round 14.
Yeah.
It is the end of the bye rounds.
Now, it is funny, on Monday night, we had our podcast. You're doing that fresh out of the last game. You're thinking about some news.
Yep.
Think, we'll get through to Thursday. We'll know a little bit more. Bit of news dropped in between.
A heap.
Yep. So we talked about Max. I can't even remember what we said. He was sore.
Scoop. I said.
What'd you say?
I said he's going to miss.
Oh, you did say Sindez as well, which it is.
Did you say?
Yeah, let's go.
Cinder?
No, we're not laughing about that.
No,
Jeez, I've got it right.
Don't celebrate the sin.
I've
So
celebrated
3
my
to
call.
5 weeks for Max gone, which is quite significant.
It is.
It's more than significant.
It's a must trade, isn't it?
It is a must trade.
So he was missing this week. Do you have to trade him this week or can you wait a week?
Well, you can wait a week, but I think it feels like you're missing points.
I agree.
A lot of coin.
There's a lot of
is
coin
in-
there.
wrapped up in Maximus. So what are your plans at the moment? Well, let's go. The most obvious one would be finding that bit of coin to go to English
Yes.
because he's probably, arguably R1 now?
Yes, definitely.
Well, not even arguably. I think he is.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, but you know what that is? Boo-oring.
It is a little bit.
Doesn't matter.
That's boring.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know
we'll
what
get
I'm
to that
thinking.
shortly. The other one is where, Roy, we're in that position.
Yes.
We've got, you've got,
Dorco.
who?
Zorko.
Oh, no, sorry, no.
Sorry.
Talking about the rucks, though. You've got Cameron in the forward line at the moment.
yes.
But you don't have English. Do you have English?
No.
No, so
It's the sensible move, I think.
and I've got both. So one's in the ruck, one's in the forward. I'll just trade Max out for another premium on another line, and then my ruck R1 will be English. My R2 will end up being Cameron. I did not think at any point of the season, imagine in February, at round 14, your ruck lineup will be
Set
English
and forget.
and Cameron.
Set and forget, we
Amazing.
said
There
at the
you go.
start.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Anyway, that's how I think would be the most common
Yes, it will be
scenario
common.
for people.
Yep, but maybe
100%.
some people
Right, so
just
Calvin,
need to tweak
we don't want to
things.
preempt teams yet because there's a bit that's got to come under the flow under the bridge.
I get that.
What do you want to do?
Oh, it's not about what I want to do.
You want to do it.
I
You're
sort of
excited
do.
about
It's a
doing
little
this.
bit of a. It's a bit of a. I'm going to say a juicy move. We're talking of the Prusy variety here,
I don't
Roy.
hate it.
You will save around about $200,000 by
cash
going.
grab.
It's a cash grab.
It is.
The
That's
dude
ridiculous.
basically didn't score under 90 when he's played this year.
If he's named, I tell you what, I am going to be very hard to talk out of this.
The dude hasn't got into the team.
That's an issue.
Oh yeah, slightly, but
Look, I totally understand where you're coming from.
to me that's a boring move.
You may
the
not be
English.
allowed to do that based on the teams coming up very
Yeah,
soon.
well, in a moment.
So the other thing that you could do is, if you did want to wait a week on Max, as in just trade him next week or whatever, that you could have a little bit of cover there with Bryn Teakle.
Yes.
So he has been named that he'll play. So he's a ruck forward, 190k, picked up in the mid-season draft. Now,
Okay.
77 in the Sandful last week. So, yeah, Port Adelaide are bringing him in.
Yeah.
They've said that. That's a lock and load.
They
that
sounded
means-
pretty excited about it too.
So
that
they
they
talked up his energy that he'll bring.
So
and
it means
sort
that
of thing.
Hayes, a lot of people have got him at R3. You could go Hayes down, make yourself a couple of $100,000.
Too right.
Because pecking order stuff, Hayes had really good numbers in the Sandful last week and could not get in over Teakle.
So he's behind. Yeah,
well
agree.
and truly.
So that could be a move there for some cash to start with, but he could be one of your green dots on field this week.
Where do we see his job security? It seems pretty strong.
If you only had 1 week on the list,
Yeah.
and it's only the second week you're in, which we might see with someone else later on when the teams come out, Massimo D'Ambrio's,
Yes. Yeah.
D'Ambrio's.
I don't know.
So,
The-
something like that.
Like what Warnie said, the fact he's been there a week and he's in, and
Yeah.
they talked up that they were excited about what he brings. It feels like it's as good a job security as you could see.
I agree.
From a 190k.
Agree.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's something there. Could
It's
even be
his
some-
spot to hold.
And
it's a good matchup this week as well against Sydney. So not about anyone to come in and at home.
Right. So it could be an option.
Too right, it could
We'll
be.
be thinking about that a
You
little
called
bit.
that one early. To
You
your
did.
credit,
Well
dog.
done, dog.
Smart.
These were scooping everything
dog.
tonight.
Oh, wow.
Throwing a line out.
Well, yo, yippee, yo.
Something's right.
Where's our dog at?
So the other thing, we do have a game tonight, and that is
Come on.
Richmond and Carlton.
Let's
Sam
go, boys.
Durden is in. So he's a 195k. He was also picked up in the
Yes.
mid-season draft. Now, he might have played last week if they went Marchbank over him, but Marchbank is out.
Yes.
Anyone pick him up? Yes.
That's unlucky. He was gonna hold his spot. You guys paid up for job security there.
Yep.
He had a bad scoring game. He would have been good for 60s, I reckon.
Yep.
After that, but the poor dude, God, can he have just a stroke of luck? So,
No, he can't.
So you did a job security pick last week. That's just purely unlucky. Now Durden, his job security now is outstanding.
You would
They
think
are
so.
so depleted
He'll
back
get
there.
3 or 4 weeks at a minimum.
I agree.
What do
Yeah.
we think he can score, though?
More than Teakle?
No.
No?
I don't know. He's good for 50, 60.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Should be a 50. That's it.
Okay. And what do we see Teakle at?
But teams are in.
Oh, okay.
So forget about Durden. You don't need to make that call tonight because St Kilda and Essendon teams are in. Saints are bringing back Hunter Clark after that injury. Billings is in for his again after he was out for a while too. Wanganeen, Miller and Burns are in. So the outs there. Mackenzie's out injured. Leenert's been omitted. Windhager omitted. Mason Wood omitted. And Mitch Owens with that concussion is out too. But the Bombers, the big news is that they've brought in Massimo D'Ambrosio.
He's there.
D'Ambroso.
Wow.
I've got to get that name right because he's going to be my new favourite bomber, I reckon. Andrew McGrath is back in after he was a laid out last week, and Braden Ham. Now, the outs are Alec Waterman, who was a Medi sub, but Darcy Parish hasn't got up from that corked calf, so
It looks
he's
bad.
out, which sucks for a lot of people because a lot of people brought him in last
He
week.
ticked a lot of boxes,
He did.
dog.
Devastating.
Very unfortunate.
Cutler's out omitted, and Zach Reed is omitted. So, D'Ambrosio, 190k defender. He's at the top of your shopping list, I
32
reckon.
touches last week in the VFL.
Named on the ground on the forward flank. Yeah. Straight in there, big fella. Off you go.
All right. Let's go into some Saturday games. Let's start with the first one, which is, as I refresh here, is Port Adelaide and Sydney Swans. So Teakle, as we mentioned before, is in. And Jackson Mead, Cow, have you sold him yet?
Mead for speed. I'm not sure.
Could be
got
another
rid of
green dot
Meady.
for you. Georgiadis is in as well. So the outs there. Robbie Gray's out. Stephen Motlop, Travis Boak, bit of health and safety protocols for him. And Dumont is out injured as well. So Motlop's omitted in that. Meaning, at the moment, Butters is named.
He is.
So that's
with that
okay.
broken cheekbone.
Sydney, well, they always said he was going to play.
They did.
So
They did.
Harry Cunningham's in as well as the big Budwood. Amadi goes out, and so does Robbie Fox. Ben Ronk, who was a Medi sub. Then we're looking at the Twilight game, 4:35, West Coast and Geelong over in the West. Dom Sheed, Elliot Yeo, Jack Petricelli, Jermaine Jones, Jeremy McGovern, Rhett Bazzo is in. So he's another cheapie there.
Defender for 218k.
So, but I think you've got embryos.
Yeah.
You definitely do.
And Rioli are the ins there. So that means out, Witherden omitted.
Oh!
Greg Clark omitted.
Oh! What? Oh!
Harry Edwards omitted. Isaiah Winder omitted. Jackson Nelson omitted. Luke Foley omitted. You'd think they've been losing or
In a
something.
time of need.
Patrick Naish, who was a Medi subs out, and Sam Petreski-Seaton illness. Time of need. So Clark would still be super popular and people would
100% he
want
would
him
be.
there if you didn't trade him.
People have been
last
counting
week.
him as a green dot this week. Of
course they have.
As Witherden, who
Witho,
people have got
that
in.
sucks
I saw
massively.
people looking at Witho in a couple of
Yeah.
big name, which one do I pick?
Yeah.
Oh,
Premium
my.
defenders.
For Geelong, Colin Jasny is an in there, as well as Sam Menegola. The outs, Parfitt is injured. Illness for Gary Rowan, and Quinton Narkle is the Medi sub. Saturday night, it is GWS and Western Bulldogs, and the big end.
Yes!
Juicy
Let's
Brucey.
do it!
Hayden
Yeah.
Bruce is back for people that wanted him.
Whoa.
The news though, Flinny's still playing. There you go. Haynes is back, and Angwin is also in for his first game. He's a 190k defender mid.
Mid defender, I believe, dog. Yes.
So interesting one to be watching
I
there.
believe he had 10 tackles last week.
Yeah, okay.
Right. Perryman's out injured. Steenie, our mate, the Medi sub, is out as well. De Boer injured, and Zach Sproul has been omitted. So, interesting there.
Very.
Jacob Ware holds his spot.
Yep. Played well too
That's
last week.
good. And the Western Bulldogs, they bring in Jamara Ugle-Hagan, Jason Johannesson and Josh Shackey. They're out. It's Bailey Smith, who's been suspended, and he's got an extra 2 weeks on now. So he's out for the next 4 rounds.
Wow. Bailey.
Buku Karmas has been omitted. He might have been someone counted as a green dot for a few teams this week. Lachlan McNeil's been omitted, and Mitch Wallace, the Medi sub. Let's get into the Sunday game, and that's Gold Coast and the Adelaide Crows for Gold Coast. So Jeremy Sharp's been omitted, and Lockie Wello's injured, because remembering these guys played a couple of weeks ago. Coming into the squad, Elijah Holland.
He's here.
He's into the squad.
He's on extended
And
bench.
will be important to say squad. These teams get finalised at 5 p.m. on
He's
Friday
getting
afternoon.
closer.
That's it.
Jack Bowes, he definitely comes in, I think, for Weller. Big Ruck the Casbolt, Roy, your boy.
Yep.
He's in. Sam Flanders and Sean Lemons. I've got a feeling a couple of those guys are ahead of Elijah at the moment. For the Crows, your boys, Cal.
Yep.
Himmelberg, not the cool one. That's Elliot. Butsy and also Josh Rochelle, meaning no outs at the moment, meaning
Gasp.
your mate Patrick
Parnell.
Paddy Parnell on the extended bench.
Oh, he's close.
Yeah,
He's
so
a
that's
very good
one
chance.
that's going to be a
In
watch.
the mix. Green dot
Could be
potential.
a nice little, yes, green dot for you.
God, I'd love
Okay, is he ahead of your Essendon boy, dog?
No,
He's not, is he?
because my Essendon boy looks like he's graduated from Auskick.
That's fair. Very interesting.
Yes, it is.
That would be very handy.
Okay, lots of
Unexpected
takeaways
green
from
dot.
that.
That was one of the more exciting teams we've had for a few weeks.
lots of fresh
Takeaways
meat.
do you have?
Okay, here's one takeaway.
Juicy one.
Juicy
Yep.
is an option.
And named as the ruck with Flinny in the forward line. Guess who else is in the forward line? Himmelberg. Not that you can read everything into this. That role looked
Hang
like it's
on.
been his in the back line. However,
But-
it's enough because it's been talk this week.
There has been talk.
That no, he could be up forward.
So-
especially with
Okay.
what they've kind of got. So Haynes is
That's
back.
Haynes. That's the
Yep.
issue.
And the other one is Phil Davis, I think, is playing VFL this week. So it is fraught with danger. He's got a break even of -5. He went up 91k. He's only making another 100k at least in the next fortnight. Could be more. With
Did he go up
normal
this week?
scores.
91.
91.
So Nick Hayes, like,
$1,000.
even if he was named forward, if they didn't name someone who is a high-marking defender like Nick Hayes, I wouldn't be worried at all.
I agree.
But given the talk and seeing that, it's now a riskier move than it was.
Yes.
Okay. We need to talk more about the juicy
We
situation.
do.
Oh,
Okay.
why?
Start with the fact that Flynn is still in the team with him.
Okay. That is a massive
Yeah.
alarm.
You can't do it, Cal.
But how has he scored with Flynn this year?
There you go. Just
Fine.
as well. 100%.
You get to a position, Calvinator, with your team at times by chasing these mid prices in the rucks. In the back half of the season, you want the best. Just get.
He's
English.
averaging 99 for the year.
He's averaging
It's
a few
huge.
games in the VFL for the year as well.
99.
What happens when his bad immune system kicks in again?
Okay, and here's the
I
other.
think he's had everything now, so he's fine.
The problem is, and Dog's dead right, if he gets in, you put him in your team this way, and he's out next week just because he looks at the coach funny and Spike don't like him, you now have a ruckman under 700k that you need to do something with.
Look, they have looked good under Spike.
Yep.
And they've been doing it without any muscle in the middle.
Okay.
He is safe now. It's his spot to lose. He's had the
Yep.
illness. That's gone. He's surely cannot do another thing wrong. He's had his suspension, indiscretion for the year.
Yep.
He is going to surely have a clear run. Is there such a thing for?
Well, I don't know. You can play the break
So
even
you're a
game.
definite no on
I'm
it.
a no.
You're
Because I don't have to get one.
borderline
So I'm just gonna
excited
go.
about it. Yeah, true.
I don't have to get one, so I'm a bit blinded by that.
Right.
But I
I
am
am-
a big believer of I was always set and forget. So you've got the opportunity to go and get the best.
Reset and forget
Reset.
again.
And the thing is, though,
Regret again.
Yeah.
but for 200,
You will regret getting
200k.
Okay,
It's a lot of
so
money.
basically, there's two, and like as usual, I'm the middleman. So I actually like both ideas.
Of course you do.
there is so much merit for both of them.
Yes.
Imagine what you can do with that cash on top of someone else's head.
Yeah, I hear.
Prussy's. He's averaging
Like
100.
getting, English into the forward line, putting that on top of his head. Just do that.
Well,
There's
the
that many
thing
rookies
is,
coming through.
If I got, for example, if I did get Bruce in the ruck, that means I could get English forward because of the money I saved there. So you could get both.
Can you get both?
Of course you can.
Of course you can.
Wow.
Just saying. And the other issue out of all
It's
these
an
selections,
option.
we've got so
What happens
many.
when we're sitting here next Thursday night? Outs, Bruce, illness.
English into the
into the middle.
And so you then got 600 odd K on your pine.
trade him.
Good idea. At the moment,
Again.
this may be a cow. Could be a straight bat,
Right.
or I'm hooking this for 6.
You're talking way too much about this, Calvin. So the big things that we get out of this is that there is the opportunity for the downgrades
There's
that
some
we
rookies.
might need.
Yeah.
So
Massive.
we've got D'Ambrosio for the Bombers. I think he's the pick of
He's
them.
the pick.
I agree.
Defender status. Angwin, so with the mid-defender status or defender mid status. Bazo, who's there. A couple of extra dollars on him. And you've also got...
Durden tonight.
Durden tonight, and you've also then got the ruck in Teakle.
So how would you rank all of them? And that's hard to do, but your Essendon boys at number 1.
I think he is.
Is Teakle at number 2?
I think he is then because you've probably got his mate Hayes.
Yes.
And it's a downgrade there, make you a couple of $100,000,
Yep.
and he's ahead of Hayes in
Right.
the pecking order.
At the moment, yeah.
Durden has better job security.
Durden has good job
Teakle.
security,
I guess Teakle is only going to be your R3 for the rest of the year.
and that's where you can get that cash
Yeah.
from.
And you
To
need it just
get
for 1
in
week.
Tim English into your side, Calvin, if you need coin to do it.
I don't know if I should be listening to you for advice.
But Tim English has been
My ranking's moving
outstanding.
one direction. Yours is moving the other way at the moment.
1 week, mate. Massive slide, I get it.
massive drop.
Oh, no.
Look, yeah, that's where I'm steering English at the moment.
Is it? Get back on the Bruce train. I
Okay, I'm
reckon.
back on.
All right, we will have our trades on our video Friday on afl.com.au. I'm actually nervous about trying to work something out at the moment to make it all happen. So you can check that out on afl.com.au and the AFL Live app.
You're listening to the official AFL Fantasy Podcast. This is the Gold Diggers, thanks to Sportsbet. Conditions apply. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858.
Now, boys, what a great event the Big Freeze at the G was last weekend. Loved it. Now, we're going to try to keep the momentum going with a couple of bets for our Bet With Mates group. It's our group betting made easy here, thanks to Sportsbet. They'll be donating the winnings to Fight MND. So, Calvin, Friday night footy.
Yep.
I believe you've got a same-game multi for us.
It's time to pass it back to the King, Roy, and the King will deliver. We are looking at Archie Perkins and your boy Hobbsy there to go 15 touches or more. We're looking at Jack Billings and Harry Jones, anytime goal scorers, $25 on it, $3.75.
I like that. That 15 disposal market, especially at Marvel under
Love
the
it.
roof, I reckon that should happen. And Billings surely kicks a snag on return.
I reckon he does.
Good work.
You'll be playing it forward, I reckon. Have you checked out the new feature there where you can check your live, your same-game multi, the legs of it?
Yes.
You're watching him go and refreshing it. It's good. It's nice.
It is
all right,
good.
Calvin, let's go Saturday. Goal kicking?
Yeah, goal kicking on Saturday. We've got Goulden and Gary Rowan to get 1 goal there and anytime goal scorers. And then on the Saturday night game, we've got Peatling and Josh Dunkley to snag one. $25 on it, $4.31.
We're going to change that Rowan because he's out ill.
Oh,
That's what happens. I think just about every
time,
week.
every
We'll fix that
time.
one up. Nah, that'll give us something to cheer on Saturday. Peatling, who's kicked 3 goals in each of those games.
Yes.
That's the nice one to whack in there, I reckon.
is.
The last 3 weeks. 3 goals.
100%.
Massive. You can find Bet With Mates in the Sportsbet app. Start your group, bet together and share the moment. Conditions apply. For more details, see sportsbet.com.au. And as always, gamble responsibly. All right, V8.
Okay, yeah, look,
Round 14 captains.
it couldn't be any worse
You
than
owe
last
us
week.
something,
I-
don't you?
It's a tough week too, I noticed.
Yeah, it is a tough week. You
Yeah.
are spot on, Destroy.
And you
But-
stuffed up an easy week last week.
well, no, I didn't. I had Brayshaw number 1.
Oh, sorry.
Can't go wrong with that. Right. The dilemma I've got this week is there is a very juicy game, and we're not talking of the Prusy variety. We are talking of a
We've gotta
very
stop
good
talking
game
about
here.
Bruce, I think.
It's in my head.
Get him in.
Sunday, we are looking at the Adelaide against Gold Coast game at Metricon. This is where your number 1 captain comes from. And between Took and Laird, I've split it this way. I've given it to Took.
Right.
Okay, and the reason I've given it to Took is he has 4 scores over 120 this year. He has 2 scores over 140 this year. Laird has 4 over 120 this year and hasn't gone on after that. His highest score this year for Laird is around about 124.
That's what he feels like. He's just
Yeah.
consistent. He's the safest 120 going around,
And the
feels like.
other thing is against the Suns, for Laird I'm talking here, against the Suns, the Bulldogs played them the other week, and you'd think, yeah, they're going to go gangbusters here. Bailey Smith 118, Treloar 100, Dunkley 100, McRae less. So they didn't get it done. And that steers me back towards Took, who's against the Crows. So against the Crows in recent weeks, last game, Redden 116, Shuey 112, Head Tilt, Gaffer 107.
Oh, that seals it.
So
So,
you put 30 more on top of them.
so you would assume,
Yes.
and even that, but game before that, you got Blixarves 135. I know Stewart had the 170, but he's a defender. Guthrie 126, Selwood 116. The points are going to be there for Took at home.
Right.
Coming off a 135. Took gets the number 1 spot. Laird in number 2, I still think they're both going to be great. Look ahead at other options. Guthrie against West Coast.
I don't hate it.
Okay, hear
Do
me
you
out.
know why he likes him? He's researched him to bring him in this
No,
week.
I'm not going to bring
Must
him in
have.
this week. Here's a stat for you, Dog, and you know what you can do with this stat.
Right.
So West Coast and Port Adelaide, compare the pair. Don't, right? That was a pun. Pair. Compare, right?
It's funny.
Over the last 5 weeks, Port Adelaide have allowed teams to score 300 points a game less than what West Coast are doing.
Wow.
There is bulk points
There
for those,
is.
and we always know that. It's massive.
But that's a huge figure.
Guthrie is coming off a big score. He's got 98, 126, 114 in his last 3.
No wonder
he's
you're getting
scoring
him
one.
in.
I'm not getting him in. I wish I was. Duncan, though, in the same game, last 3 against West Coast, 146, 134, 120.
Oh,
Nasty.
and they're worse than ever.
Where are we going? I am looking at a vice captain, though, in the game on the Saturday night, which would be your Josh Dunkley. And the reason is,
We get it wrong every week.
yeah, but
You tell me who
don't hear
you
this.
go, and I'll go.
the thing
McRae.
is,
side.
and McRae's also a great option, but Dunkley has 5 scores over 130 this year.
How many have you hit as a VC or C?
Out of the 5?
Yeah.
4.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it was 4. McRae,
been
though,
a
one off
disaster,
hit.
I reckon.
he's
One
another.
off hit.
He's one why you might
I'm
want
so
to.
bad at this VC.
Okay,
so
McRae then.
bad at this game. Full stop.
Go
Bus.
McRae. Listen to these numbers against the Giants. This might be enough to tip you over the line. Last year, 159. Before that, 131, 129.
So what didn't you make him?
He racks up, but he doesn't go 130s like Dunkley does.
Right.
Dunkley tackles, Dunkley marks. And if this game is what I think it will be, I think Dunkley will outscore him.
Okay, I've got a question for you.
Yeah, I've got an answer.
Do you think Dunkley will get a big chunk of Bailey Smith's 50% CBAs that he was hitting?
He'll definitely get a part of it,
Because he
won't
needs more. Like, I totally understand what you're saying. He's a stat filler.
Yep.
But there's been games where I've had him VC and it's really hurt that he's played that forward role and he hasn't really been that guy rolling to the back.
Yep. So you can guarantee on Libba and you can guarantee on McRae being in there.
I
Bont-
need someone in there.
Bont as well, and Dunkley will be the guys
How's
that
Bont's
fill that
shoulder?
up. Yeah, probably not good enough to be in there with those
Right.
guys. So I think that is the way it is. So for me, it's a vice captain of Dunkley, who's my number 5, into Took, who is my number 1.
Right. Wow. Good stuff.
There you go.
Good number crunching.
Can't
here.
go wrong.
Things to think about with your captains, though.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Thanks.
no. Oh, no.
Jesus Christ.
I
It's got
just
no face.
obviously let's do the simple one. It's the last chance for 3 trades this week because it is our buy rounds, but it's also the last chance we get our best 18. Your VC, if you like it, you can just put your C on a buy player. Yep. How many blue dots will you have on field? Do you think this week?
How many? Oh, okay. There you go. I will.
Do you think you'll go close to a 22?
No.
No way.
I'm not. No. I'm not.
No
in.
chance. I probably would have been a lot closer if we talked about this on Monday,
Yeah.
but not now.
No.
And so if you do have that, make sure you're smart about that too, is if you don't have any blue dots on field, you can actually sub one onto your ground and put emergency on a player that is playing.
Clever.
So you can still do it that way because they will count as 0. They get locked at the last game of the round, so 320 on the Sunday.
So it's still the safest possible
Now,
way
Roy,
to do a VC.
we'll do away with Calvin for Calvin's
Alright,
captains
go for
here.
it.
Yeah.
With your skipper
Yes.
or VC,
Yeah.
what sort of strategy are you going to use?
This week.
Yeah. Based on what's happened, because you screwed it up last week. You
Badly.
gave us a sob story about that on Monday's podcast.
It's just on repeat, dog. I stuff this stuff up every week. I don't know. I just can't let it affect,
What moves you make.
Yeah, 100%. So I'll be going a very straight bat. I didn't mind Cow's sell on Dunkley and McRae there.
Yep.
I've lowered my line after
Yeah.
going to Max, bringing it home on the weekend.
Can't help it if you got injured, though, can you?
Still went
Poor
back out
old
there.
captain
You
Cow.
can't, but I never felt confident about it.
No.
You know what I mean? Like this. So, well, once again, dog, the number one choice, and I think it's very justifiable, is coming home in the last game.
Yeah.
So maybe I chase a random ceiling earlier. But who's that? It is Dunkley probably, isn't it?
Cripper tonight.
Cripper
Three
tonight.
very good quarters last week.
He did.
You're only as good as your last three
Well,
quarters.
that's exactly right.
That's what they
Yes.
say.
Don't write off Cogs either in that game. But
No.
it's the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs are one of
What
the
about Josh
hardest
Kelly?
teams.
He was the form player of the comp a couple
But
of
he's
weeks
up.
ago.
The Bulldogs
No
are,
one's tagging him.
but they're the number one hardest team to score against, the Bulldogs.
Right.
So you got to avoid that just based on that.
I want to play again.
I reckon I would have had a pretty good crack at the record.
They were greatness.
She goes to the milk bar and comes out with 5 heralds and I'm on the front.
It has been a privilege and a pleasure to spend time with the Centurions, getting to hear their stories in their words.
It was just a buzz of a place to be.
Well, it's exciting.
You take that conversion rate any day of the week.
Subscribe to the Centurions wherever you get your podcasts and keep clicking back to afl.com.au and the AFL Live app for another instalment with the game's greatest goal kickers.
Nothing wrong with a bit of me time.
Now, there are a couple of questions floating through here on our Facebook page. So you can be watching us live every Thursday night on Facebook. Cameron wants to know, hey, legends, I'm going with a Massimo for Owens, Doc for Zorko, and Sinclair for Dacos to field 19 players.
Nice.
Is it all right to trade Dacos to be able to field 19?
Look, it is.
It is.
Especially if you're going up to someone as good as that.
Yes.
Yep.
I just
So you've got to
feel-
lock that in tonight then. Yeah, you probably would do to get from Zorko up to Doherty.
I just feel that he's looking sensational
Yep.
at the moment.
So you could hold on that Dacos move to
feel
Sinclair
like it.
He's
Until
coming, off a
tomorrow
one,
night.
he's coming off a 114. It's near like Collingwood want him to win that Rising Star.
It's back-to-back hundreds.
Yeah.
And big hundreds too,
And
really.
bulk touches as well.
You agreeing you cash out, Cal?
Well, the thing is with that as well, I saw that Pendlebury moved into the midfield
Yeah,
predominantly last game because they were so happy with what Dacos is doing
Yeah.
as that creative
Yeah.
guy across half-back. So it feels like that role is his now.
Yeah.
Pendles is out of there.
Yeah. And the fact that De Go is in Bali and may not come back.
What the hell was that all about?
No.
I'm jealous.
There's a, yeah, so,
What, that we don't get a break or is in Bali?
both.
We could do it live there.
Of course we
I
could.
reckon Gil might be able to,
Yeah.
on his way out the door, he goes, next year, buy rounds, the traders from Bali.
That's got a ring to it.
Yeah. The traders. Yeah.
Brought to you by
Bali.
Bintang.
Yeah. Bali edition. Bintang Bali. We'll come up with a better name.
We might try
Gil
it.
will pitch it to you later.
A question here, James had it. Basically, does he go and get English straight up, or does he go Himmelberg, and he'll probably get English next week?
I'm a fat no on Himmel. Just
yeah?
for the record. Yeah. I'm a firm
was
no.
told someone in the comments there, sorry, I lost your name because they float through too quickly, but basically he's been named in the forward line each of these games that Spike's
Right.
been in charge anyway.
Great
Spike
eyes.
just hasn't moved the magnet because
Great
he's
eyes.
left it there.
No,
That's
he doesn't
great,
care
boy.
about that
That's
sort of thing.
Spike 101, isn't it?
Look, I think you just probably go straight bat English there, but I can see why they're thinking
Agree.
that way.
Kylie wants to know, is it Clark or Brody? So that would be Will Brody, I'd say, to Tiku. I think it's got to be Clark now. He's not named.
Yes.
Yep.
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 Simple. What about, where do you sit on trading out Will Brody?
I think it's okay.
I'm okay with it. I
I'm
think a lot of
okay.
people have been hard-nosed.
Yeah.
I'm probably not because of the position I'm in that I need to probably keep him. But
Yeah.
I think it's okay to do.
So I've certainly looked at it. The thing I don't like about it, so I think he's had 3 80s in a row.
Yep.
As a forward, there is nothing wrong with that, especially when he's got that 130 ceiling. So I've looked at doing it this week just to get another dot and
Yep.
some points. But then I've got to think forward to next week, and I'll still have Butters there, and I'll have Rosie there, and I'll be thinking, where is my safe little 80 guy that can do more?
Yeah, and he's averaging 92. That's a big number for a forward.
So
Yep.
could you do it if you've still got Butters? You know what I mean?
Oh, Butters, he's missing a few blokes at Port Adelaide.
Yes.
Butters is a hold with Boak out and
Yeah.
who else was it? There
Oh,
was a
good
couple out.
point. Surely the mouse comes
He
out.
finds a way.
He does.
Like a
He
cockroach
does.
that stays in your side. You can't get rid of it.
a bit
A few
odd.
people have asked basically Treloar or Parker. So Treloar without Baz for
Yeah.
3 weeks.
It's Treloar.
4 weeks.
It's
Yeah.
Treloar.
I don't know why I'm so disrespectful
Parker's
to
good.
Parker. He's
You've got
so
Parker,
good.
Cow.
Yeah.
I do. Treloar's going at 98 this year.
What's Parker going at this year?
Parker is going at 95. See the difference?
Yeah.
Come on,
Good
boys.
call,
Keep
Cal.
up.
Yeah, both great picks. For some reason, I feel like Treloar can get on the end of
Agree.
easier points, and I sort of like that.
But on the other hand, Parker is full on midfield all the time.
he is.
Age-old question from Finn. What's more important, trading out the red dots on your bench or getting those rookies off the ground? What rookies on the ground are you happy with at the moment? Dacos?
Yes.
Nick Martin?
Yeah, and
Yes.
not even happy with
No.
Martin there, but
But
it's
you could roll
very
with that if you had
serviceable.
to.
Yeah.
For another couple of weeks.
Even Hobbsy? He's ticking
yeah,
along
is
okay
he?
and still making a few
Yeah.
more dollars.
Yeah.
So on the ground,
But it's hard to call that guy on the ground because most teams, after this bye finishes, Dacos would nearly be the only one left on field
I
for
think
most
so.
teams, I would say.
Yeah.
Is that where you
And that's a
guys
strategy.
sit?
Yeah, and I could go without Dacos on field, but I think I'm just going to roll with it.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, it's a funny thing. So we were all well and truly in a position at the start of the buys to have all rookies,
Yeah.
long gone and luxury trading.
Yep.
The injuries have been
Well, this week our teams
Just
have got
unmanageable.
Max and Zorko.
Yeah.
So 2 premiums. I guess the positive, if you can find one in it, they're on the buy this week anyway, so it helps us get extra green dots that
So-
we didn't think we were going to have.
That's true. So it certainly helped with that. As with
Zorko's 50-50 for next week. Does that come into your mind?
well, it does if you're splitting hairs
Yeah.
with guys that you're trying to get out. But so I think people need to take a bit of pressure off themselves in regard to removing rookies from the ground.
Yeah.
Because if you've copped all the bullets,
Yeah.
it's literally been impossible. Not poor management,
Yeah.
but really bad luck.
Yeah.
Someone like
Cow's poor
Dacos,
management, though.
someone like Dacos, that is just a dude that you can confidently keep rolling with until that looks ugly.
Agree.
I reckon.
Yep.
Rightio. Phil Davis replaces Keefe is what people are saying here, or Braden is saying, because
Yes.
the flags are being thrown up there.
Yeah,
about
and
little
I
Burke.
understand.
And so they should be. It's not like you're paying $600 to get the number one defender, but it's the cash grab that you're going to make. It's the fact. It's not just that one.
$600. You're going all right, Roy.
Sorry,
You're
yeah.
really good with numbers this week, aren't you?
I have been.
How much was Tickle?
903,000.
Somebody said that.
A few people said that.
Got him, yes.
Oh my god! At least I know a lot of people are reading my articles. That's one thing. So the thing with that, so he's 600. Now the cash that's going to generate, the fact he's hit 200s in a row. It's not just that 160 that he hit. That's 200s in a row. He's coming off his 3 highest scorers for the year, all under Spike.
Break even -5.
So you just got to work out where your mindset's at with that. Do you think you're getting another 160, or are you getting a potential 80 for the rest of the year if he keeps that roll?
I'm still a big fat no.
So what you think if he keeps that roll, what would he average?
If he keeps that role,
Yeah.
I agree. He's an 80.
But you are
I
worried
don't think
of
he
that
will.
role.
I don't think he will.
Okay.
Someone's called Massimo. Good name for this week. Is it better to get Whitfield for Zorko and then go Chera to Duncan rather than Zorko to a Stewart or Doherty and then Haitley comes in for Chera? So basically getting Haitley in, or you can get Duncan in. But if you're getting Haitley, you can go up to a Doc. And you'd be Doc over Stewart. Stewart's dollars are still dropping a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you
and
might get
and
him.
I still have Doc number 1
Agree.
in the roll on 22. I love Stewart as well. I like all the players named there. I love Haitley. I love what Duncan's going to do as well. Just feels like in a year where we're copping so many injuries, it's like you're asking for trouble getting Mitch Duncan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand
And
100%.
like you can never say, oh, someone's more likely to get injured than someone else. But yes, you can actually. Because
him, you
Duncan, the soft tissue, like Zorko, we all launched into it saying, oh, he's at added risk.
We knew what was going to happen.
And bang, there it goes.
And what a surprise.
Yes, exactly. So probably don't do it to
Who
yourself.
goes out first for Ned here? Owens, Clark or Hayes? where the dollars are.
Yeah,
Clark
it
could be
is.
more than
I
Hayes,
agree,
wouldn't he?
dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whoever's worth the most out of
But then
them.
again, in saying that, Hayes down to Teakle is almost the safest move in the sense of you've got a little bit of job security there
Yeah.
for someone that's ahead of who you're trading out for a couple hundred grand.
So it would be Hayes, Clark.
Yep.
For me.
And then Owens, because Owens only got, 260, 270?
Yeah. 260 something, I think.
Yep. I'm happy with that.
Doherty and Keys or Whitfield and Laird? Oh, it's Whitfield and Laird for me, I think.
Doherty and Keys. Keys just has not done enough.
Can he just go back to
Yes,
what he was
can,
doing, though?
but you need to see it first. It's like what we said with Merritt a few weeks ago.
Is there a correlation with Laird in the team and Keys?
No.
There isn't?
No.
Because didn't Laird miss the first month? That's
Maybe
when
there
Keys was
isn't.
dominating.
Well, jeez.
I don't know. You're the one that does all this research, Calvinator. I'm just trying to...
It's Witt and Laird.
Yes,
they are
Witt
two
and Laird.
Witt and Laird.
outstanding inclusions to your team.
And well done. They are.
thoughts this week with Merritt.
Oh, still
Are we
got
confident
him.
he's still value?
Nah.
Well, Parrish is out. Maybe he might try a bit harder.
Parrish
Yeah.
was out last game.
Look,
Oh,
just, I don't know. Can he just want the ball, want a couple of marks?
Okay.
Can he get that back in his game?
I'll give you some confidence. So last week when the Lions played the Saints,
Yes.
okay, Neil 127, Lions 126, McCluggage 114, Berry 111.
The hunger those boys show
I know.
to lead to space
I know.
is significantly different to what I saw
Yeah.
from Merritt last week.
I need you to send him a rocket before the game even starts.
He does.
Set him up.
Because, well, if he goes back to playing like that, yes, he's an amazing pick. But what I saw last week, I was so disappointed.
Same.
It was hard to watch.
And Warnie is yet to apologise to everybody.
It's all right. You wanted to do it as well.
I did.
Josh Williams, gone to Teakle. Yes, I know. Ruck 3 next week. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Zorko to Stewart and Marchbank to Cornelio. Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, hard to say no to any of that.
Boom.
Do you know
Because
what?
that's probably mean, Cameron and Bruce into the Rucks next week.
Yeah.
So-
Bruce, I'll be the judge of that this time next week, I reckon.
okay.
Yes, no, fair call.
He
Now,
may
the
not
thing
be
is
there.
with when I went bargain shopping, looking for, just someone who's underpriced and that you might want to keep the rest of the year,
Yep.
the only guy that I have mega faith in is it's our only good player we've got probably, but Cornelio is the guy.
So cheap.
He is just the underpriced Uber premium.
And sitting there for the picking.
Yeah.
You cannot
if you don't
stuff
have
that
it,
one up.
just lap it up.
Yeah.
Are we a bit excited because they played North Melbourne last week?
That certainly helps, but his form under Spike has
Cogs
been
is going to like
outstanding.
119
Yeah.
since he's been there. So,
He's doing what we picked him for at the start
Yeah.
of the year.
and some.
Yeah.
Oh, and some.
Yeah.
And I think
Because-
that's a lot of people the people that traded him out, it's a bit of an ego dent
Yeah.
to get him back in, but I think you need to.
It is. You
Roland
can still
22
hide.
is in there.
100% he is. You can still hide behind the fact that he's now back in the role that you thought
Yep.
he should have been in. So it's an easy
Spike.
one to bite your pride.
750K.
Bargain.
It's so cheap.
All right, round 14, boys.
Wrap it up.
We're going to get started with a Thursday night game starting soon. That is Richmond and Carlton. If you've got any moves to make sure you do it before that.
Let's go.
Marchbank for me. Anyone for you guys?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm going to have a look
You
at
holding
it.
Marchie.
Make sure you
let's have a look.
sub your dots, or if any Richmond or Carlton players, get them on the ground. You can
point.
obviously move the other guys later on, but get that sorted. Round 14 is our last bye round, which is an exciting thing in itself. Back to normal transmission next week with our 2 trades per week and our full 22 playing.
Yeah.
Now, round 14 is also the start of where kids taking over, because rounds 14 to 17 of the 2022 Toyota AFL Premiership season, you can bring the whole family with all the kids aged 15 and under for free.
That's
the kids
good.
can come for free. Heaps of family fun at games. Show your colours, cheer for your team, and keep the kids entertained these upcoming school holidays. Don't miss an epic celebration of food, fun, footy, and entertainment.
That's a good setup, isn't it?
This is our
100%
time.
it is.
Take
Yeah.
the kids along to the footy, keep them entertained.
Give the
and
wife
enjoy
a
that.
breather. Off you go.
Is that what you'll be doing, Cal?
do the right thing out there, Dads.
You're
Come
going
on.
to the footy these holidays, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Have you worked out who you want to see?
No,
The
haven't.
Crows?
Oh, yeah, right.
You are the worst Crows supporter. Go around. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you this time next week, every Thursday night for the team stream. Very excited. See ya.